Welcome back to the Compressor Guru.
And friends.
And friends. We got the camera wipe behind the camera. We got our helper here. This is Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Hello.
Scott's been a part-time helper for about a year now, isn't it? Maybe a little more. And he's good help, and I appreciate having him. Unfortunately, he's got himself a full-time job, but it's a 4-day-a-week job, 4/10s. So I have him every Friday. So for the foreseeable future, he's got work every Friday.
Yay.
Don't give me any excuses. Anyway, folks, we're continuing with the 15T assembly. Today we're going to show you the rings. We're going to put the pistons together with new connecting rods. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff, but a lot of you will call and ask, and I wish you wouldn't, but I'm glad to answer the phone, but I'm tired of answering this one. So we're going to show you today. A lot of you will call and ask, what should the ring gap be? And I generally say, well, you should have 10 thousandths. Well, we have a brand new cylinder. We have a brand new ring. And I decided to put the rings in and show you that they actually have a pretty good manufacturing system where these rings are right every time. I haven't had to gap a ring for 20, maybe 30 years. And so we basically don't do it anymore. But there's a 10 thousandths feeler gauge. And you can see the ring gap there. And maybe you'd say, well, it looks like about 10 thousandths. And that's 10 thousandths. I might even be able...
Just a minute till I see how you did that, because I can't really... Oh, you stick it in the little gap.
Yep. And if it'll go, it's 10 thousandths. It might even be 11 thousandths, but that 10 is pretty tight. So that one's 10 thousandths. Now, that's perfect. We're going to go down to the next one. It's 10 thousandths.
You're doing it by the width of your little band there.
Yeah.
I thought I was trying to look at the side to see what...
That's called a ring gap.
Okay.
This is called your ring gap. And generally, you're looking for about 10 thousandths. Now, this one's right at 10 thousandths. I don't know if I can get an 11 in that or not, but I'm going to pull that out. And this ring are, these are the top two rings, okay? The pips, one pip on the top, and look at the sides. The sides are similar. Sides are the same. Now this one, I bet I could put a 30 thousandths in that gap. See how big that ring gap is?
Yes, it's bigger than the others. So this, open those back up again.
This is a feeler gauge set, and yes, it's been in the drawer a long time. But that's a feeler gauge set, and it goes from 32 thousandths down to, I think I got a 1 thousandths in here.
So it's like my little hex thingies I have in my bike.
Yes.
They're all on one thing, and you just flip them out, and the end tells you what they are.
Right. So here's the 30. Let's see if we can fit the 30 in that gap.
Well, that light's not helping me at all. Maybe it's helping you, but it...
So that gap's over 30. Now let's see which ring it is. Okay. This is the third ring down. This goes on that. So the third ring down is actually looser. You notice the outside is a wiper ring?
No, I didn't notice that.
See the wiper on the ring?
Is that like rubbery?
No, it's cast iron.
Okay, so it's just pointy.
And here's the top two rings.
And these are flat.
They're flat.
Okay.
And
That's
then,
good to know.
Then the last ring is a 3-piece oil control ring. But I get a lot of phone calls from you guys, hey, what should my ring gap be? If you bought new rings from me, your ring gap's fine. You don't even have to worry about it. If you want to worry about it, we just showed you, you're shooting for about 10 thousandths for perfect. And if it's a little loose, it's a little loose. So folks, we're going together with the cylinders, the pistons, the rings, and if we have time, we're even going to set the cylinders onto the compressor today. This is the wrist pin for the high pressure piston. The high pressure piston and one low pressure piston out of the two machines is all we were able to salvage. So we run this through the parts washer and the acoustic cleaner, and we're going to slide that in. Oh, it slides easy. What I'm going to do, so we're going to put one snap ring in.
Take it closer to the cylinder, thank you. Yep.
We're going to stick it in because that pin actually moves nice and free in there. And I'll turn it.
I have a really nice shot of your hand.
Yeah, I'll turn it that way, and I'll dump that one out. That was very easy. I'll get one out I dropped. Now, we'll slide this one through. And we'll put our connecting rod right there. And we'll slide it through our connecting rod. And that was pretty darn easy. And then we'll put our other retainer ring in.
Wow, I could have done that.
I know you could have. Guys, don't let your wife know how easy this is, or you're going to kill some of that free time you get to lounge around out in your shop. And
I'd be happy to share with them.
there's the wrist pin, brand new connecting rod, and old piston reassembled.
And it wiggles back and forth okay? No, the other way. Yeah, so it doesn't make any noise.
Now, I want you to pay attention here. We have two different types of connecting rods. The high pressure is the one with the dipper. The low pressures do not have the dipper.
The dipper?
This is the dipper. It makes it a splash lube machine.
It's the pointer.
No,
It doesn't dip.
This is a pointer.
You would think if you called it the dipper, it would be like a ladle.
When it's in the machine and going around, it splashes the oil out of the bottom of the crankcase.
So it's like the stir stick.
I'd rather you call it a stir stick than a pointer. So we're heading for the vise. We're going to put this in the vise, and we're going to put some rings on it. We're in the vise. I used wood to protect the brand new rod, and we're going to put our rings on now. This is the 3-piece oil control ring, and I'm putting it on the bottom, and you gotta make, when you put it on, you make sure you don't overlap the ends, which you can do, and you'll have a mess. So these ends
Just touch.
meet together at a point.
Yeah. And there's no gap.
Or these will,
On that one, there's no gap.
there's no gap here.
That's right. That's
But
what I
if
said.
you put that in there like that, it's not going to stop nothing. And we're going to put those points right over top of the pin boss. And 90 degrees away on this side, we're going to put the bottom ring on. And we're going to be careful when we do it not to get the points to move and make sure they stay the way they were. Now, we have a little gap on the wiper ring on the bottom, and it's on, looking down this way, it's on at 3 o'clock. I'm going to move to 9 o'clock and put the top wiper ring on the 3-piece ring.
So it has two wiper rings.
Yep. This is a 3-piece They call it a gapless ring, but it's not really gapless. The gaps are on opposite sides of the piston. And the expander part of the ring is that zigzaggy thing, as you call it.
Yep.
And it has to make sure that we don't overlap it. And when these goes on, it pulls that gap together in case it was separated a little bit, but it wasn't. Give me the different ring, Scott. Scott, I got a question for you. Do you learn every time you come to work here?
Yes, sir.
Why did you start calling me sir?
Force of habit.
How many times have I told you what to call me?
Just one more.
You can call me Mr. So, anyway, take your ring installation pliers.
Yeah, these are the specialty ones.
These are the specialty ones, and they don't go wide enough. I need the next size up.
Oh, they come in different sizes?
Yes, they come in different sizes.
Wow, just like shirts.
Yep. What size shirt do you wear, Scott?
3 extra large tall.
And where did you get that shirt?
Oh, my good buddy Bud Steiner here.
The Compressor Guru.
Yeah.
If you want a shirt like that, email me for $30. We'll ship anywhere in the continental U.S. One shirt with your name on it. There we go. One shirt with your name on it. And if you take 2 shirts, we'll sell them to you for $60. If you take 3 shirts, we'll sell them to you for $75. But we're only shipping to one address. So show them your back, Scott.
Oh, well,
Thank you, Scott.
nice.
And what's on the front of your shirt? Dirt.
Yeah.
And it can come with a pocket if you want the pocket.
No, we don't sell
Oh.
pocketed t-shirts.
Okay.
He's special.
Mine does
Good
not
kind
have
of
a
special,
pocket.
Scott.
I don't want pockets on my shirts.
And you can have your choice of any color as long as it's black. Anyway, back to the rings.
See, it's a tall
That was a
shirt.
commercial
You can
interruption.
see how tall he is. Look,
He's taller than I am. I'm a big guy.
is he taller than you?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Walk over there next
Let's
to
go.
Bud.
No, we got to do this.
Oh.
Let's go wrestle.
Let's not and say we didn't.
Okay. I'd lose. I heard
Because
you.
Scott doesn't want to hurt you.
Yeah, I know. So after we use the ring pliers, we slip this down, and I'm going to put this one right about 1 o'clock.
So it's not the same as any of the others.
That's correct. This is called staggering the rings. And once again, there's a pip on top of the ring. I don't,
There's the pip.
so the pip goes on the top.
Pips always go on the top.
That's right. This didn't have a pip, but it had a wiper ring, and that wiper wipes the oil down.
And that was the V thing that is not rubber, but is
Cast iron.
cast iron, not even steel.
That's right.
And why is it cast iron and not steel?
I
Doesn't rust.
don't know, Bill.
Does cast iron rust? Actually, it does. But there should be enough oil in here that nothing should rust.
It won't rust when it's okay. That ring's on. It's free, just like the other rings. It's free, and I'm going to put it over here about 9 o'clock.
Ah.
Oh. You can tell I usually leave my rings there. Scott is here for a reason, folks.
He's your personal assistant. He hands you things.
Well, when it comes to lifting, he's the lifter because my back's so bad. And that one went easy, and the pip's up, and we're going to put it about 4 o'clock. Now, grabbing all the rings, they all move free and easy. We're going back over to the cylinder, and we're going to load this.
Okay.
Okay, we got brand new compressor oil. Emglo is what I like. And we're going to make a little bit of a mess. And I'm going to pour a little bit over all the rings. And
Right on Scott's shoe.
I got Scott's shoe.
No.
Yes, I did. And now we're going to fit it down into the cylinder. Now, we got to be conscious because this dipper has to go a certain way. This is a discharge or an input. So knowing how that machine rotates, we're going to make sure the rod is like this. I got her. Okay, so we've lubricated our rings. We've cleaned the brand new cylinder. By the way, that was Scott's job earlier today. They were just covered in grease. They were nicely packed and they were just covered in grease.
Good job, Scott.
And we have a bevel here. You've seen that bevel, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to work it down in.
This is always the fun part.
Yeah.
We've done this with a lot of these. You folks have seen this before. Well, look at it just wiggling right down in there like it's supposed to.
And a little bump. There we go. That one's loaded, ready to go.
How do you know how far to take it?
Well, I'm leaving it up as far as we can so that when we hook it to the hoist to lower it onto here, we don't have a problem. But I'm going to put a little oil on that wrist pin. There. Okay, we're going to repeat this process with a low pressure cylinder. Here we are with the other used piston. This is a low pressure piston. And guys, this is more of the same. If you want to fast forward, I understand. But I want to show you this piston because I bought a 20-liter acoustic cleaner. You put water in it, you heat it up, you turn it on for 30 minutes. You wouldn't believe the amount of carbon that it loosened. It didn't take it all off, but a quick trip through the parts washer, and it looks just about like a brand new piston now. And I'll tell you, if you have the means, these acoustic cleaners are really worth something. You know, I told you not too long after I announced that I had a little bout with cancer last year that I was making some changes. One of the changes I made was not having my hands in so many chemicals doing this cleaning on stuff that I had no idea what it's cleaning off. And one of the things I did was buy an acoustic cleaner. I recommend if you're doing a lot of this work, you do it as well. Right back to this, we're going to put a snap ring in. And I would do it differently, but I'm trying to do it for the camera, which adds to the level of difficulty doing this left-handed and not being able to see. So there.
Well, that's your excuse and you're sticking to it, but...
That's right. Don't you forget it.
This must be Bud doing this because the compressor guru
He
would snap that right in there.
You're correct.
Tried to pound his fingers into the next piece.
I just noticed something, and I'm doing this with the easy, quick way because I got something really important to show you.
Really important?
Really important.
All right.
See how quick I could do that when I got to turn it towards me instead of for the camera?
Yeah, you say whatever.
What does this say?
Just a minute. It says... I have no idea.
You were close. IR. And IR.
Oh, I with an R around it, yes.
That's the IR corporate logo. This is an aftermarket connecting rod. It came out of the same factory as the OEM rod. Guys, we did an episode a few weeks ago and it was aftermarket and a bunch of question marks. I don't even remember exactly what the name of the episode was, but we talked about aftermarket versus OEM. This is aftermarket. It says Ingersoll ran with their casting number on it. Guys, these come out of the same factory. There's no reason to be buying OEM when I can give you the exact same rod for 30 to 40% of the price of OEM. Back to the vise.
We used to have a different
More of the same. Oh, Scott, you're making a mess, dude. Okay.
Most people would have put a mat down there to absorb that
Yeah, we will.
instead of Scotch
Okay,
shoe.
here's the inlet or discharge, so the rod's going the right way. And these larger pistons take a little more finesse to get the rings down in. That's a nice sound. Okay, we have a brand new piston, and I'm looking for an IR stamp on it. I don't see an IR stamp on it. Since you've seen me do this before, I'm going to point it towards me and show you how quick these should go in, because you see how much I fussed with it when I was trying to show it to the camera.
Start the timer if you like.
Well, these have never been compressed. They're way wide.
Well, that went a lot quicker.
Yeah,
And you didn't even have to put oil on it.
not yet. We're going to.
Ah. So this is the same as that one that does not have a pointer.
This is the same. I think the length's the same, but there's only one dipper on.
Dipper, yep, that's what you called it.
Head for the vice. Thank you, Scott. And he even knows which ones to handle, folks. He's a fast learner. If I get this truck, okay, more of the same. And I just about made a mistake. There's the opening, and it goes in like that.
So it makes a difference, the angle there?
Yeah, I'll show you why when on our next step. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so set that back out of the way. The first one we're going to work on when we're ready is going to be the high pressure.
Do it.
So guys, today we showed you ring gap, and that the manufacturing standards are so high today, I haven't worried about checking ring gap in at least 20 years, maybe 30 years. I haven't had to adjust a ring gap in that long. So you don't have to call me anymore and go, what's a ring gap? Just let's say 10 thousandths is your minimum. So, but beyond that, we also showed you aftermarket rods that actually say Ingersol on them. Guys, they're coming out of the same factory. You're not buying aftermarket, you're buying Ingersoll at aftermarket prices through thecompressorguru.com. Guys, we showed you how to put the rings on the pistons and load the pistons in the cylinders. Why don't you come on back in 2 weeks and we'll load the pistons onto the crankshaft and onto the crankcase. Guys, there's a lot of setup time, and we don't show you all the setup time, but we show you everything we do right, and sometimes we show you what we do wrong too. And I do that so you don't make our mistakes. Thank you. God bless. Hit like and subscribe. If you really want to thank us, hit that super thanks button. It's where the 3 dots are. Send us some money. If you send us money, it will go towards a 4K camera. And we've overcome our technical glitches temporarily, but we still want to go 4K to improve the product you get. God bless you. Have a great day. Thanks, Scott, for being here. He'll be here next time, too. Bye.